We're waking up, it's Saturday. It's time for the game. In Edgeley we gather, passionate in the flame. Stockport County's colors, blue and white shine. With the roar of the fans, we toast to the divine. Every corner we conquer, together we rise. Here's to Stockport County, let the anthem ring. In the heart of Edgeley, where the joy we bring. With every kick, every pass, we're ready to fight. Underneath the floodlights, everything feels right.
Hello and welcome to the Cheetah Lane podcast at Stockport County. We've got two games that Rob and Calvin will be going over. A win and a draw. A lot to get through. And you're always welcome to join us. Hi lads, how have you been?
I've been alright last week. Been a bit rubbish over the weekend, but...
Was it just a draw?
No, a bit of the flu, I think.
Well, thank you for fighting your flu to be with us on the podcast tonight. Calvin, how are you doing?
I'm good, although I've just realised my seat's not as low as it normally, as high as it should be. So, yeah, I'm good.
Are you comfy now?
Yeah, you're comfy now.
You happy?
I'm never happy. But
I would like that on your gravestone. Calvin, he was never happy.
I'm never happy.
Now step away from my grave. Right, well, we've got a few apologies to make already because we've had a tricky week, I think, and basically traffic as well. And we struggled to get any recordings of fiction. Apologise. We should be back ready for next week, but we're not there next week, are we, guys? Because some inconsiderate people decided to go off on international team instead of playing for Stockport, but hey ho.
I don't think there's many from Stockport going international duty, if I'm honest. It's probably more from Reading's end, so.
Yeah, well, we can't go to Stockport, can they, at the weekend? It's supposed to be in Stockport next week, playing a bloody game.
Playing Wigan.
Yeah, but oh well, let's see what happens.
Wigan, yeah, not Reading.
That was the last one.
Yeah. Okay, we do have some saving graces, though. We did actually have a couple of predictions up on TikTok. 2-1 county win, 1-0, and a 2-0. I'm guessing that's a county winner as well. And going into that Shrewsbury game, I think 2-1 county and a 1-0 county there. I think a few people not as optimistic. They have been over the last couple of weeks. We've not seen the 3-0s or the 4-0s against a struggling Shrewsbury side. Do you think that's a more realistic target now? Guys, that the county fans are starting to think Shrewsbury Tuesday night, they're really struggling. We might scrape a draw. What do you guys think?
I think the way County have been playing over the past few weeks, that it's kind of acclimatising everyone back down to earth a little bit. Obviously, the good start that we had beginning of the season, it kind of lifted everybody's expectations up a bit. But I think it's the last kind of few draws and things like that have it's kind of brought people back down to earth a little bit. Realise that we've just gone up, and we're fighting in League One now instead of League Two.
I think that's something you said quite a lot into Calvin, that make sure that you play your games. Once you've got safety, that's when you can really start pressing on.
Yeah, I think that's the thing when you always get promoted. I think like if you look at it, Wrexham and County fans this season have been quite vocal in their thoughts of us getting promotion, and I think probably not. The one thing I'd say is get safety first, stay up, and then anything else is a bonus. So once you've stayed up, you can then build for next year. So I'd say get that sorted, get the sort of guaranteed safety out of the way. Maybe we can start expressing ourselves a little bit on the pitch a bit more and start playing how we were earlier in the season.
Yeah, I think if you want to join us here on your predictions, follow the link in the description below. It's got all our socials and you can give us a comment on posts to let us know what you think for the Charlton game. That's the next game that's coming up. Well, you guys travelled to Shrewsbury, and as we've said, they've been struggling at the start of the season. But you guys were at the game. I'll start with you, Calvin. How did you see that game starting off?
That was a poor start from us. I thought we made them look decent. Not going to say good because they're a team fighting at the bottom of the sort of bottom two. So I'd say they were good, but I'd certainly say that we made them look better than they have been playing. And I think certainly that first 20, 25 minutes, they had a couple of half chances and a really good chance that got deflected over. But yeah, I thought it was a bit of a weak start from us, but yeah, wasn't a great first half, if I'm honest.
Fraser Horsfall's clearance or deflection off the line almost, wasn't it? Saved us in that first half, I think.
Fraser, we know that he's played. He's one of, I think, 3 players that's played every minute of Stockport this season. I hope you're not sending me. Yeah, flew down the mic, Rob. I'll be a bit annoyed. But yeah,
I've got my antivirus on, so that's not. I'm not gonna get it.
I like it. I should have kept mine on. Norton, I hate it. Things still get through in Norton. But yeah, I think there's a few players that I think we'll talk about a little bit later on. I think Horsfall will be one. But Ethan Pye, he got counted off just before the mark. Probably a better end of the half, Rob.
Yeah, it was kind of against the run of play a little bit as well, wasn't it? Because at that point, Shrewsbury seemed to be the better of the two teams. But yeah, we got a free kick and kind of fell to Ethan Pye, and he was the one that hit it over the line, and it was good finish in the end by him.
I can ask you a question, Calvin, and I think it's around Wootton, really. He scored the second goal towards the end of that game. Wootton, right? He's scoring the goals for Stockport. A relatively good start. Are we happy with Wootton that he's scoring the goals, or do you think he still frustrate you?
I'll be honest, and when we first signed him a couple of seasons before, I was a bit sceptical. You know, we were signing not National League players in League Two, and I was a bit sceptical. And I thought last season he played well. In his first season, so he played well. Then got injured at the back end of the season and sort of curtailed our season a bit. And then last season he was a bit hit and miss. I've always liked him, strangely enough. He puts a shift in. He tries hard. Do you know what I mean? He gets himself into positions, and he's constantly getting pulled and pushed, and also. So I do like him. I think he needs to add more goals to his arsenal. Basically, he's good at a couple of things, and I think he did. He took his goal well on Tuesday night. But I don't think he's a 20-goal a season man. You want somebody, look at like some Macaulay Langstaff, Paul Mullin. You want strikers like that who are going to bang goals in, week out. So it's a little bit of frustration, but I do like him. I think he's a solid player.
Well, in 9 games for Stockport, I think that's in all competitions. He scored 4 goals, 2 assists. So it's not a bad turnout, really, for someone that.
He was playing. It was a kind of 4 in a row, wasn't it? The first 4 games or something, and then he's not been seen since, really.
Apart from the goal last season.
Apart from that one, yeah. Which was kind of, it was. As Calvin says, he took it quite well on Tuesday to get through a crowded box.
Well, what was your standout moment in that game then, Rob, for game against Shrewsbury? Wasn't the pie at half time, which we'll talk about coming up.
Probably this guy getting sent off from the bench.
Yeah,
yeah. There wasn't really much to write home about on County's side. Really, there was the odd kind of chances, but I think it was a poor showing by both teams Tuesday night, and nothing to write home about really.
No, and result was good for Stockport, but maybe the trip wasn't. Too late getting in to get any predictions. Not that I'm blaming anyone, but
yeah, we arrived at the ground probably about 15 minutes before kickoff, and then had to do all the kind of local streets were all permit holders, so we had to kind of find somewhere to park and walk quickly to the ground. Luckily, one of the locals let us park in front of his house, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Did you jog there, Calvin, from the car to the ground? I take that as a no.
Sorry, I only answer reasonable questions. I answer stupid questions. I don't know. The only thing that runs with me is my nose. That's when I get a cold, like Rob's got. So I'm lucky.
Yeah. Right. There's quite a lot to think about for the Shrewsbury game, and well, Oliver wanted a pie, and well, let's hear why he didn't get it.
Oliver's make the pie.
Yesterday we went to Shrewsbury, and when we got there, there were no pies. At half time, they still didn't have it, but we did have a burger. The burger was nice, but because of the no pie, Shrewsbury gets a 0.
So Shrewsbury get a 0 because there were no pies, but he seemed to be enjoying the burger. But come on, Shrewsbury, you need to do better than that.
Yeah, well, we went at like obviously as soon as we got in the ground, there was no pies then, and the lads went down at 5 minutes before half time, and there was no pies left then either. So yeah, you'd expect, knowing the amount of fans that turn up, that to cater a little bit more, I think.
Right, now it's the point that we like to talk about because it's prediction times, and I've just clarified this, Rob, that Calvin was being cheeky last week and changed it the last second to become a draw for County. We both went for a win. It was a win, so look at that. Right, I'm joining him. We can all have cuddles. We can all have snuggles. Calvin loves it. We all love it. And yeah, we're quite happy with that. Calvin, anything to say?
No.
I'm sure
It's rigged. It's rigged.
It's rigged.
They're against me.
Okay, we got Wigan at home. A match that had its moments, but ultimately left us wanting so much more. And well, anything actually. I remember just sat there zoning out, and I think Calvin had done the same. I think there was a moment where we looked at each other and thought, "You know what is going on here?" But let's dive right into it. And I saw online that there's loads of different theories. So I want your theories, guys, because I saw that County were poor, saw that Wigan were poor. Both teams just cancelled each other out. Calvin, I'm going to come to you. What did you make of it?
I think it's been a bit same old with Stockport. Poor first half, better second half. But I was disappointed. Don't think Wigan came for anything. I think they would have settled for a point before the start of the game. Disappointed with them. Thought they were going to come out, looking at some of the players they've got, ex-Premier League and Championship players. And yeah, it was disappointing how they came about it. And I don't know if that affected Stockport. If obviously Wigan are coming to defend, it's hard to break down that two banks of four, that they have. So I think if Wigan had been a bit more adventurous, could have been a very different outcome. But again, it was a poor first half, better second. So I think we need to starting better and finishing better rather than start poor, finish okay.
Must be good, Calvin, though, that you're having teams like Wigan with their squad and them going, do you know what? We're going to Edgeley Park. Let's go for a draw. It must feel good.
No, because you want an interesting game. I'd rather have a 3-4 all draw than a 0-0. I'd rather teams go out for it. I don't like this negative, this negative attitude. You see it with teams, the 1-0 down and they don't go for it, and you think, put another striker on, lose 2 or 3-0, go for it. I like to see end-to-end football. I like to watch good attacking games. If County are just constantly bombarding the opposition's goal, I'll take that over a boring 0-0. I think if it had been 0-0 and we'd have been peppering their goal left, right, and centre, I don't think that would have bothered me either. I think I'd have been okay with that. It just felt like Wigan didn't want to come out and win, and we just went through the motions, really. It wasn't a great performance from either team.
Yeah, I said that before as we were leaving the ground on Saturday. It was almost as though Wigan had turned up and were playing for the draw as opposed to trying to win it. The previous 5 games at Wigan, 3 of them were 0-0 draws. So it's kind of a bit of a omen, really. But it must be the way they're playing this season, trying not conceding, not score anything as well.
Yeah. And let's just be fair and be a bit more realistic, because I think we can all complain, but what is it, 10 years ago, Stockport were National League North, 11 years ago, Wigan won the FA Cup. So this year, we're all playing and Wigan are struggling to break Stockport down as well as the other way around. So which players, if any of them, think made any impact in Rob?
I think the substitutions at half time made a big difference. When the three lads came on, can't remember who it was off the top of my head.
It's all right.
Cold, but yeah, I think them three kept coming on, made a big impact, and he changed the shape a bit, didn't he? And that was kind of that I think that's what kind of spurred us on to look more aggressive and a bit more
Powell,
attacking.
Bailey and Connolly came on, didn't he?
That was it, yeah.
Thingy, wasn't it?
I thought Powell
yeah.
played quite really well, to be honest. It was some of the kind of flicks that he was doing and balls he was trying to play. It was just a shame that the other guys weren't on the same wavelength, and he was kind of flicking some good chips and things through to people, but they weren't running quick, like running through him, if you know what I mean.
I think that he is a step ahead, Calvin. Do you agree with Rob's statement?
Sometimes he looks like he is. Sometimes he looks like he's got that quality of a level above. But then there's times where you just see him pottering around the pitch and you think, come on, lad, must have got to do something. You're getting well paid at this level. He's probably I'm going to say it now. He's probably one of the better paid players at this level. Even though you've got some big teams with Birmingham's wages, but I still think for a player who's getting paid quite handsomely, I think you'd like to see him be a bit more getting at teams. But he did play well, and he did come on and change the dynamic of the game on Saturday. So Yeah, just want to see more of it.
And what plays was the opposite then? I know you're probably going to say Farini, who was struggling at this level. Is there anyone else really that you think needs to really step up, Cal?
I'll be honest. I think the right backs we've got just not cutting it. Mingy, no. Connolly, no. I don't know where is Noel back soon, anytime soon, because he was fantastic at the point when he was fit last season.
I think he made
he's played Will
a
Collar
couple
there,
of challenges, good challenges, didn't he? And Saturday, especially this year inside, I remember making a good challenge in the second half.
I think it's moments that some of these players have, but you look at Mingy in the first half, kept getting skinned by his winger, brought Connolly on, he was just getting, so it's the odd occasion where they make some good challenges, but I think we need to find long term. I think what we need is a proper goal scorer, somebody who's going to bang 20, 25 goals in, and a solid right back, because surprisingly, I think Ibi Toure has been fantastic. We've had that Adaramola, who, less said about him, the better. And that Anyango, who's come in from Everton, he's played there a couple of times. He looks all right, but nothing spectacular. So the fact that Ibi Toure is coming on and actually being the best left back we've got, it's a surprise from last season anyway.
Yeah, it was even the first couple of games this season, he was... I know I've said in a couple of podcasts before, he wasn't kind of one for taking anybody on and things, but he seems to have upped his game in the last couple of times we've seen him.
Well, let's hope that they can step it up. We did keep a clean sheet though, but I think Dyer. I think he's one of the things that I've seen a lot online. So I need your opinions as well, lads. Is and we've said it before, giving the ball away a bit too much.
He was brought in for his distribution, as far as I was aware, and obviously his size and stuff. But it doesn't seem to. Whereas Hinchcliffe always kind of hits it up the pitch, he doesn't seem to. He's always kind of passes to the side, and there isn't much of a fluctuation in his distribution. It's always kind of the same, carbon copy, kind of pass it to Horsfall or Pie and then back again, and there doesn't seem to be the kind of range of distribution that we're led to believe he was bringing in with him.
Do you think that's an accurate thing, Calvin?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I think he's on a bit of borrowed time at the minute. Not that he's going to replace him and drop him, but I think at some point you got to think, give Ben a chance again. It's not working. Ben was one of the best keepers in League Two last season by a long way, and I think give him a chance, see what he does. What's the worst that could happen? If we're not winning games anyway, it's not like Ben being in goal instead of Corey's going to make a great deal of difference. You wouldn't have thought so. Yeah, I think he's probably just give him a couple of games of a break and see. Just I don't know, just to get him a bit working a bit more in training maybe, and get him doing what needs to be done.
Sorry, Rob.
No, I was going to say, saying that the last goalkeeper that gave Hinchcliffe a run for his money was injured at Salford, wasn't he? And was playing in the Premier League at the weekend, so keep him on the good side.
Yeah, and he's played 8 games, obviously, in the League One so far. Conceded 7, but he's had 4 clean sheets. So it's It's one thing, Calvin. Would you keep him in for the next game, or when would you drop him?
I think I'd give Ben a shout. It's not that I don't like Adai, don't get me wrong, but I just think just try something different. If it doesn't work, it's not a great deal if we lose against Charlton, is it really? So Charlton are not a bad side. Another former Premier League team. But I'd definitely give Ben a shout.
We always know in football, as football fans, how important the crowd is, especially during the match. I thought there was at specific moments when the fans needed to lift the team, but I think it's the same old thing. Are you going to get lifted without stuff going on the pitch? How did you think the game went with the crowd, Calvin?
I mean, if we've got a bleep machine, it might be handy for this next bit, because I thought, for the most part, the crowd were fantastic on Saturday. We tried to boost them. But here comes the swearing part. There was one twat sat 2 seats away from us, or across the seats. All he was doing all day was, Shrewsbury. I was like, shut up, mate. Nobody else was singing. He wasn't getting anyone else going. If anything, it just made me want to go home. I genuinely was like, I don't want to be here. We even asked Rob, didn't we, if he had any spare seats near him, so he could have gone and sat with them. But
and it was the clapping that was just, and I don't mind trying to lift it up, but he was in a world of his own.
Yeah, he was.
Not that we like to criticise the Stockport fans, but I'll tell you one thing I will criticise of, and it's the vaping at Stockport. Yeah. I've got asthma, and there's a chap right in front of me through the whole game. I tell you what, my chest hasn't been right since. Really, has not been good since Saturday, and it happened Saturday. So, yeah, I think something for me, that's something that needs to be addressed and stamped out a bit, because it's not like. Bit of a rant moment here now, Calvin. So, but what gets me is it's illegal to do it. You shouldn't be doing it, and it's just not nice for you to be sat in the middle of a crowd. I don't want to be breathing someone else's lung juice.
No, I mean, like on the way back home, I was on the train, and there was a young lad got on the train. And he was having a bit of a go on a vape, a couple of seats over, and there was a woman there going, he said, "Are you going to smoke on the train?" It's like, just fuck off. Keep your nose out, do you know what I mean? But I get that there's a thing, but for me, it's the fact that it's like the ignorance, isn't it? It's like, I choose not to do something like that, so you're making me sort of suffer the effects of it, which is not right, especially like you say, when you've got people. There's a lot of people who sit around us that are elderly, who are unwell. Do you know what I mean? So have a bit of thought for the people around you, not sitting there thinking you can just do as you please.
We'll see what happens.
And if he watches this game, I love you, mate. If he watches this podcast, sorry, I think you're brilliant.
Well, it wasn't the result we wanted, was it? But it was still a solid point against a team like Wigan, a strong side, and we matched them, to be fair, in a lot of places. But we want to hear what you think of the game as well. We want to hear your predictions as well for the next game. So feel free to leave a comment below the podcast or go to our socials, and you can do it then. But we need to start talking. Oh, I've not done the prediction for the Wigan game. Calvin, you went for a massive defeat for Stockport. That didn't happen. I spoke to you at the game about a 1-1 counter draw. We know that wasn't the case. But Rob is adamant that he had a conversation with me in the car about a 0-0 draw that I have no idea about. He texted me halfway through the game saying it's going to be a 0-0 draw, but I don't remember that. So I'd like you to be the adjudicator here, Calvin.
I'll be honest. I'll be brutally honest, and this has got nothing to do with the standings in the league table, and I'm just going to be honest, this is my opinion. Because we weren't able to put out, sadly, a video with our predictions, I think it's probably best to just say nobody scores any points this week, and maybe do a double points for the Charlton game, maybe. I don't know, but I would say that it's a bit hit and miss in it, because I didn't. It was only about half an hour into the game when you told me what you and Robert talked about, and I was like, but yeah, I would say probably best to just no points this week, scrap it for this week, and we'll apologise to our lovely loyal fans, and we'll make sure we're back on it.
I think that's the fairest thing to do, innit? Because obviously we've no proof or anything on here, so I think we could be just saying whatever. So yeah, I think the best way to do it is to kind of skip a week and carry on.
I'm pretty sure I did say before that after that 3-0, I think it'd be 0-0 and they'd have a disallowed goal in the first half. From a handball, I thought. So,
and I said that County were going to do really well right to the end. But so I think, yeah, I'm going to agree, guys. I'll get a point and you guys stay on 4. Cheers.
I would like to say, by the way, if anybody else, I haven't seen the highlights because obviously we were at the game and I didn't see them. I would like to know anyone else's opinion on the challenge from their fullback or the winger in the first half, and he got booked for it. I thought from where we were sat, I thought he was going to go for it. I thought, oh, he's gone here. That's a red card. It looked like it was ankle high. So if anybody's seen it and wants to tell me whether they agree with that or whether I'm wrong, pop it in the comment section and I'll read it.
Did you think it was a red rope from where you were, Rob?
Yeah, to be honest, so did quite a lot of people around us. They were all kind of chanting off. It did look kind of a dangerous tackle, but obviously the referee was a weird. Got one on the day again when he was a bit all over the place.
Yeah,
and,
I think
you
said it before we've done the podcast that he was very much pro defence.
He was.
So any defence he seemed to give.
Yeah, any kind of decision he seemed to give to the defending team, no matter how blatant it was, that it was like, say to Wigan or to us, he always seemed to go the way of the defence. So yeah, it was. And the other thing I was thinking, the lino, I don't know whether I mentioned it the other day, was that the same guy that he collapsed on the line last time he was with us?
I can't remember.
Did you notice? I'm sure it was, but I asked the people around me and they didn't have a clue either, so maybe I'm making it up, but we'll see.
Well, maybe your hallucinations started at the at that game for your cold, or the monthly was cold to believe. You know the truth. You know the truth. Right, won't hold you up anymore, Rob. You can clearly see you. Well, so I think we've got another hour here yet, and we can't wait to keep him out of his bed.
An hour? I've got the room booked till 10 o'clock, so sorry, it's 11 o'clock, so we go for 2 if you want.
Yeah, sure, let's do it. Right.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's talk about anything random. No, we'll keep it short, and first of all, we've got to talk about the next game, which is away at Charlton. And I'm going to get some predictions off. We're going to go with Rob first. Which way do you think it's going to
go? Charlton, they're not doing as good recently, are they? I think the last few games have
won at the last 4 games.
Yeah. They're looking at the form table. They're one above us, though. Right. I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw.
Fair enough. Why are you thinking 1-0 draw?
It just seems to be the way of the
Oh,
games at the moment, doesn't it?
yeah, fair enough. Calvin, a week off before the next game. What are you thinking? Yes.
I don't know. I think it's a tough one because Charlton are not a bad side. I think they've struggled at times, but I do think they're coming good, and they're obviously up there where Stockport are. So, well, Stockport are in the playoffs, Charlton just outside. So, I was going to go for a county win, but I don't want Rob to overtake me, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. No, I'm not. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Charlton win. I think Charlton will win at home. I think they always after we beat them in the FA Cup a couple of years ago. So,
Right.
for a Charlton win.
I'm going to be different because that means we're going to have, if I go for a Stockport win, which I know I think is a lot stupid, but hey, you know, why not? Hey, why not live life dangerously? I'm going to go for a 2-1 county win. I think hopefully the game against Wigan will have gone. Charlton need to improve on things. Charlton, yes, have won the last game, but lost 3 beforehand. Yeah, I'm going to go for a Stockport 2-1 win. That means next week we will have someone sat again right at the top of the table, and it's probably not me. But that's it for this week on the Blend podcast of Stockport County. As I'm we've had Calvin and Rob, as usual, talking about the game. Liked anything that you've seen, please give a like and subscribe and share it out to any Stockport fans. Thanks so much, lads, for joining us, and hopefully Robbie will feel better very soon. You got a week off now.
I was going to say I'll be all right for the next one, I think.
I really hope so. Calvin, thank you so much as usual for joining us.
No problem. Enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
See you a bit.
See
You'll see.
ya.